Eyewitness News.
Skull fractures, concussions, and potentially intracranial bleeding as well.
Thanks for joining us. First up at 5:30, an Eyewitness News exclusive tonight. Children getting hurt while riding those electric scooters.
These scooters popped up all over the capital city, and doctors are now saying they are treating some serious injuries. Tonight, Channel 3 chief investigative reporter Matthew Campbell shows us why doctors are sounding the alarm.
These scooters came to the city in April, and so far they have provided more than 144,000 rides. They are popular all over the country, and whether you bought one for your kids or if you're renting one, for the vast majority there have been no issues. But for others, they've sustained life-altering injuries. For one service, it's $1 to unlock and 35 cents a minute to ride.
Something fun to do.
Rather than driving or using a bus, Juliana Velasquez uses the Link electric scooters to get to work.
I have used it to go to work before. It is cheaper than like Uber and Lyft, and it's more enjoyable.
Others take them out for joyrides.
You can visit friends too, and then we can all have fun together, but most of the time it's just for fun.
In Hartford, you can see right here on the label, the Link scooters are available to those 18 and older, but that's not preventing anyone with the app and a credit card from hopping on. This year, for a handful of young electric scooter riders, we learned their joyrides turn into hours-long surgeries.
We have been seeing a definite uptick in the number of injuries that we're seeing from these electric scooters.
Dr. David Hirsch is a pediatric neurosurgeon at Connecticut Children's.
I think we underestimated the extent to which they've been causing a problem, though.
Dr. Hirsch shows us a scan of a teenager's skull. The teen crashed into another scooter rider and essentially face planted. The patient had to go through a 7-hour surgery.
We found that there were very significant depressed and displaced fractures to the forehead region, the 2 frontal bones. We saw injuries to the orbits, which are the bones that surround the eyes, to the nose itself.
Doctors say the severity of this injury is something you'd normally see in a car crash or motorcycle accident. It's painful to look at, and we learned doctors are seeing a lot of injuries with our kids.
From a toddler who was just trying out and jumped on one of these scooters to a teenager.
Doctors aren't saying all of the injuries happened on these Link electric scooters, but since Link arrived in April, Connecticut Children's reports they've treated nearly 12 patients who had injuries after riding them. Doctors are still reviewing data on the number of injuries in years prior, but are confident they're seeing more this year. The stats for adults aren't in from Hartford Hospital or St. Francis, but Dr. Brendan Campbell says injuries are happening all over the country, not just in Hartford.
Over the last couple of years, there have been 27 deaths and over 50,000 emergency department visits directly from e-scooter related injuries.
When doctors saw these spread out all over the city, they were anticipating injuries, and here's why. These scooters, they can go up to 15 miles an hour, and just by nature of design, they're not going to be equipped to handle the potholes or bumps in the road like a motorcycle could.
You definitely feel it more than on a motorcycle and everything. And I just feel like compared to this in a motorcycle, this is probably like a bicycle on training wheels.
I think you have less control. I think you're going a little bit faster. And I think, quite honestly, the visibility is less on e-scooters.
For those using Link in Hartford, the company says they've added slow zones where scooters are capped at 8 miles an hour.
It'll slow down on you or just like turn red, just saying like, this is a danger zone, you can't really be in here.
Doctors say helmets would be a huge step toward avoiding any type of injuries. And looking at the label again, Link says helmets are a must, but they're not offered.
You really have to think ahead in order to bring one with you.
And for a lot of riders, by nature, that's not how they're using these scooters.
It's mostly spontaneous. I just see one and I'd be like, I should ride that. So it's just in the moment thing. I don't really think about like grabbing a helmet.
The city of Hartford distributed free ones at City Hall this month, and officials say safety is our top priority, and the city encourages everyone who rides a scooter to wear a helmet and exercise caution. Now, we did reach out to Link for a statement about overall safety, but we have not heard back. And doctors say that a lot of the injuries that they're seeing are for first-time users and those who just really don't have a lot of experience riding these. That's the latest here in Hartford. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.
All right. Thanks.